I know you guys are out, but I still want you guys to sharpen up your ELA skills. So today we're going to look at theme, okay? So it says, how can I find the theme of a text? Here's how. First thing you need to know is what is a theme? And we know that the theme is the message, okay? What's the message that the author wants you to learn from the story or the poem? So the theme is like the big idea, okay? It's something that you can learn about life in general, because remember, a theme does not consist of characters' names, okay? Remember, it has to be something that everyone, a lesson that everyone can relate to. So it cannot consist of characters' names. So finding things. Sometimes an author will come right out and state the theme of the story. Okay, he directly states the theme. Let's look at this story. It says, I looked at all the candy I could buy. I had the dollar right here in my hand, but suddenly I didn't feel hungry. I wish that I hadn't stolen the dollar. I wish that I hadn't taken the money from my brother's bank. I don't think I want to buy anything today, I muttered quickly to the clerk. Then I ran from the store. I had learned something important. Ding, 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 ding. Remember, it's stated directly. It's better to be honest than to have money. So with this example, the theme was stated directly in the text. It was directly stated. And the theme is, it is better to be honest than to have money. Now, when we're finding a theme, the author usually tells the reader, which are you guys, the theme towards the end of the story. So here's your hint. You have to read the whole text, okay, in order to find a theme. So look at the last page of a story to see if you can find a theme or find a theme stated. But remember, you have to read the whole text. So when finding a theme, sometimes the theme is not stated. Remember, when it's not stated, it's called indirect, okay? Direct is stated there for you. Indirect is not stated, and we have to find it. So when it's not stated, you have to make an inference, and we know that an inference is that educated guess based off of the clues in the text. Let's look at our story. It says, we knew that it wasn't time to set the butterfly free. We had seen it make its chrysalis and emerge. Then it had flown around in the cage trying to stretch its wings. Although we felt a little sad, we opened the lid to the cage one evening. The butterfly seemed confused and didn't leave at first. Then, in one burst of a zigzag, fluttering, it erupted from the cage and flew all the way to the end of the yard and down the hill by the school. That was the right thing to do, Aiden said. I know, I answered, even though I already worried about the butterfly. What would it eat? How would it live? So, when we're trying to find a thing, we have to look for those clues. What clues lead us to the thing? There's a lot of words in this text that help us understand what's going on. Let's break it down and look at it. So you see the words free, flew, right thing, okay? These are all clues to help us figure out what a theme is. So here's what our theme is. Wild creatures should be free. All right, let's look at it. We knew that it was time to set the butterfly free. Okay, it says, second example, then in one burst, the zigzag fluttering, it erupted from the cage and flew all the way to the end of the yard and down the hill by the school. Okay, flew. We know something needs to be free. We know that something needs to erupt and it needs to fly. Okay, and then the last example, that was the right thing to do. When looking at these three sentences, we can come up with a theme that wild creatures should be set free. Um, it says you probably read something with this theme before, and that's one of the neat things about the theme. As I stated, the same ideas are repeated over and over. Okay, remember, because we can use different themes in different situations. So sometimes you can have a theme for one situation, and you may come up with a theme for another situation. But what the theme is for this situation, you can use it for the first situation. Okay. So here are some common themes. Remember, themes does not consist of characters' names. Persistent pays off. Honesty is better than cheating. It's more important to be nice than to be popular. Be careful what you wish for. Love is the most important force. So here is a poem, because remember, we can find themes in poems and stories. So we did a poem, a story first. Now we're going to look at a poem, poetry. It says, a day to play got washed away. Rain comes down, covers town. Eyes are sad, rain is bad. Come downstairs, get the chairs, blankets, sheets, looking neat. Inside forts instead of sports. Rainy day tears can turn into cheers. Ooh, this is a good one. So it said, how does the speaker feel about the beginning of the poem? When you look at the beginning of the poem, how does the speaker feel? He feels as if the rain has ruined everything. He cannot play. He feels like the rain is bad. And looking at the second stanza, we have another question that says, how do speakers change feelings? Uh-oh. In that second stanza, he does not feel the same way as he felt in that first stanza. Okay? So here's our choices. Do you think the theme is persistent pays off? Good can come from bad? A cheerful attitude can overcome obstacles? Or love conquers all? Love is not being talked about in this poem. Persistent pays off. Who's being persistent? So the correct answer is good can come from bad. We can also say that a cheerful attitude can overcome obstacles. So either one of these can be supported within the text, okay? Because remember, we have to use textual evidence, okay? Whenever we are trying to support our themes. All right, so here's some evidence for good can come from bad. It says the first evidence is the day starts out badly because of the rain. The speaker builds an indoor fort, and the speaker realizes that rainy days can still be fun. This is all evidence to support the theme good can come from bad. Also, a cheerful attitude can overcome obstacles. Can you find evidence to support this? Can you? So we're looking at the text. It says a cheerful attitude can overcome obstacles. We know what our obstacle is. Our obstacle is the rainy weather. Okay. So when we're looking at this poem, we know that our speaker, he or she did not give up on the rainy day, but instead he or she went downstairs. They gathered material, sheets, blankets, chairs, and they ended up building inside forts. And this was a cheerful attitude because their attitude didn't change. Their attitude went from to okay, and it overcame the obstacle of them staying inside. So, what have you learned about theme? Theme is a message that the author wants you to learn from the text. How can you find a theme? Remember, the theme is either stated directly, which means it's stated right in the text, or indirectly, which means you have to figure out what the theme is using clues. So, your turn. So with your turn, I want you guys to go over to Study Island, and I want you guys to practice theme. Not only that, but I also want you guys to go inside of IXL, and I want you guys to practice theme as well. So you have themes to do in Study Island, and you have themes to do in IXL. Remember, we have our IXL challenge going on, and with our challenge, Miss Wright is promising a pizza party to the class with the biggest participation. Okay. And also with that, in addition to that, my top 3 IXL users, I will mail you a gift card. Okay, it's gonna be a gift card of my choice. So when I look at my data and I see my top 3 users, I'm going to mail you a gift card. All right. So remember, with your turn, I want you guys to do Study Island, get practice in Study Island, get practice in IXL, and I'm going to put up a Kahoot challenge. And you never know, I might even do a challenge in Study Island with race. You never know, but be prepared, okay? So I want you guys to have an awesome day, okay? And don't forget our challenge, okay? Bye.